I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
What's on my back? What is it? What's on my back?
Make the choice again, Donna Noble, and change your mind. Turn right. Turn right. Turn right. Turn right.
Well, let me tell you, sweetheart, city executives don't need temps except for practice.
Yeah, suppose you're right.
Turn right. And never meet that man. Turn right. And change the world.
Hi everyone, welcome to the channel, The Law and the Promise. And today we're going to get right into it with a patron's request about release. I've done a lot of videos on forgiveness. I've even written a book on it. And we've talked several times about revision and forgiveness. These are acts of love, but another one is releasing, and that's what all of these do. They release these things that you've attached to yourself, and this is why the early Christians used the fish as the symbol, because one, it reminds you that you're swimming in divine substance, you're breathing it, you're eating it, you're drinking it, everything is divine substance, okay? And you're swimming in it, and you're like a fish in it, okay? You breathe, eat, drink this divine substance. And you tend to attach things to yourself. I am X. You've attached X to yourself. So when you're done with it, you know, you release it just like you would a fish. If you catch a fish and it's not a big fish, you don't keep it, you let it go and release it. So these are things that are no longer good for you, and so you let them go and release them, just like you would release a little fish, because they're shadow. None of them's real. So you can release them. Okay, so I release resentment. I let it go, and I go free. I release, I let go, and I release. This is the statements you make. You go be silent for a minute, get by yourself, and then just say, I forgive so-and-so, or, you know, Mr. XYZ, I release you. I release you and I let you go, or I let you go and I release you. It's like you've caught it. It's attached to you. So you let it go and you release it. Just like any fisherman would let go of a fish and release it.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. See you later, buddy. Awesome.
Okay, and some can be big and some can be little. It's just, what are you going to do with it? What feels right to you? And Neville Goddard would revise. This changes the memory, okay, in yourself and others. All of these do these things, okay? To forgive is to let it go and release it. And so this is just another way of doing that. Some people have a hard time forgiving. It may be easier for you who do have a hard time forgiving to release it. You know, I release all resentment. I release all abuse. I release Joe Blow, you know, who's been nothing but a thorn in your side. You know, I let go and release Joe Blow, you know, and you don't think about him that way anymore. You see him as better, okay? And this is rebuilding. So you release and let go, which is like smashing it. And then if it's, a person, you rebuild them. No, my husband's too fine of a person to be like that. My special person is too fine of a person. He's not like that. That's not the man I fell in love with. The girl I fell in love with is XYZ, and rebuild. She's kind, she's generous, she's patient. And you give them the aspects of love, because this is a place of belief and a place of love. And you are to respond with love. You've been initiated, or you wouldn't have gone and discovered this knowledge. Now that you have this knowledge, you must apply the knowledge just like you would apply any other knowledge. Okay? You don't read about algebra all the time. You do algebra. Okay? You don't read about fashion design all the time. You do design fashion. You go out and do it. You don't read recipes all the time. You go bake, you go cook. Okay, it's the same with this. You've been given knowledge. Now use it. Just as you would use any other knowledge to your benefit, use this for your benefit. Okay, it is principle. And whether you realize it or not, it's working in your favor to the best of its ability, because you've limited it by attaching, okay, and believing that you're this limited person. Now, the reason these things happen this way is, how are you going to know beauty if you don't know ugly? How are you going to know what's right if you don't know what's wrong? How are you going to know anything without knowing the opposite of it? You're not. Okay, so in order to become divine, you have to see both sides of it, and you have to love both sides of it, because the divine doesn't give a shit. You came out of him. So until you stop giving a shit, well, you're going to get shit. All right? It's going to show you both sides of it, both sides of love. And one side is this beautiful, wonderful woman, and on the other side is Medusa. Happy wife, happy life. It doesn't mean you give the wife everything she wants. Okay, but you appreciate her and you admire her, and you know she's generous, and you know she's kind, and you know she's loving. And you don't mind any of that, whatever makes her happy. And it's same the other way. Okay? Not all males are the male. Okay, some of them are the homemaker. And they're the ones that are imagining great things about their wife and how great they are out there working hard, and some of them are both working. All right. And this is when it really gets difficult, because you both have to pump up the other one in your mind. Okay. You're always pumping him up. I know my sweetie's having a great day today because he's the best. He's the best, and he's thinking the same thing about her. Oh man, I just had a great tip. You know what? I think I'm going to buy my sweetie some flowers, because she is just the best. She works so hard and she does so good. And I don't know how she does it with the kids and everything. It's just wonderful. And same thing if they're picking up the kids earlier. My hubby is just the best. He's got the best job ever. He can get the kids and they come out and play and get ice creams and has all kinds of wonderful times before I get home. It's wonderful. You have to do this for yourself, because it's the things you tell yourself in secret that come to be, because those are the things that are on your heart. Okay? And you are to have compassion for your fellow man, but you don't let him drag you down. Okay? You give him a hand up. You don't give him a hand and let him pull you down. Okay? No. You can just leave him there if that's how it's going to be, because he's not worth thinking about. Okay? And the whole idea here is not to judge. It's through judgment you learn to discern. Judgment takes it too far. Okay? And that's when you get some pain and suffering, and you got to pull back. You got to start recognizing that what you were all upset about was nothing. Okay, it's just nothing. So being irrational after a big change is normal, you know, but you're also to see you're being irrational and you need to get a grip. You know, is it worth your peace of mind to go on and on about Mr. XYZ or President XYZ? No. It won't matter 50 years from now. They're going to be gone in 4, no more than 8, you know, as president. You know, it's all you can do is vote properly for your district and your state, you know, and there's nothing more you can do about the rest. Get over it. All right. There's some bad boys that came into town and tried to take over town. And now, you know, the people have stood up and said, no, I don't think so. We're the Earps and we're kicking you out of town. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be nice because you just fucking won't let go. But you're going to let go because it's not yours, it's ours. Okay. And as my dad would say, you know, you don't start it, but you finish it. If somebody punches you, you punch them in the nose and you keep punching them until they call uncle. And why? So they never do it again. That's why. So to release is to gain your self-respect back, your love back that you have tied up into resentment or bitterness or worst of all, criticisms. And there is no such thing as constructive criticism. It's criticism. First off, it's an ism. Okay, and it's the opposite of love. The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is not apathy. The opposite of love is criticism. Okay, everyone's a critic. Everyone's a backseat driver. Okay, stick it. Okay, you're not the one sitting up here driving. You need to get over it. Okay, got millions and millions, well, billions of backseat politicians. What do you know about it? Nothing. You know, y'all want to make a career out of it. No, if you want a career in politics, you go be a mayor for some town, and then you're a councilman, and then you go be a representative at the state, then you go run for governor or senate at the state. This is a career in politics, okay? You keep moving. You keep getting other jobs. You don't go into the federal Congress and then plant your butt there for 30, 40 years. No. Now, if the people of that district want to do that, then fine. Okay. But the rest of us are not going to listen to that one. Okay. We're not. And we're not going to pass shit. And there's something wrong with this seniority system. There is no seniority. I don't give a damn you've been there 40 years. That doesn't give you the right to head up any committee at all. Okay. It's the same thing with everything. Just because somebody has been in a position for 40 years doesn't mean that they're entitled to continue in that position. In fact, I would look twice at them because they're probably stuck in their ways and need a pokey poke to take on some new stuff. Okay, and I don't mean push them down. I mean poke them, give them some other ideas. What about this? What about that? You know, and see what comes out. But if your boss is up your ass, release him. You know, it's another form of golden keying. It's another form of casting the burden. This is not your fight. Okay? It's not. God doesn't make mistakes. You just toss it to him and get out of the way. It's a hot potato. Throw that hot potato over to him and keep on trucking. Because you don't want that hot potato. Okay, so it's just like catching fish. What is it that's bothering you? You know, a lack of is abuse. Okay, People get caught up into that lack of this, lack of that. Don't get caught in the details. Look at your life. Have you been abused physically, mentally, emotionally, okay, materially? That's what lack of is, abuse. You've been abusing yourself. So you just say, no, I no longer abuse myself. And, you know, I forgive everyone that's ever shown me abuse. I release this. I release abuse and I let it go. And I'm going to go free. Okay? And I'm going to go dancing. And I'm going to go singing. And I'm going to go do something that brings me pleasure. And when it rears its ugly head, because when you first start to let go of these things, they'll come at you. Okay? Because you gave them life. Now you're taking that life away. So they're going to scream and yell for a little bit, but they were never real to begin with. Okay? There's no truth in them. So you keep it up and you keep calling out blessings, 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 too many to count when they're walking around screaming at you. Okay? That's what you do. You know, all glory to God. Hallelujah. God is glorious. And you see them with the eyes of love, like a mother sees their little one having a temper tantrum. Go to your room, Joey. You know, that's what you're doing. Go to your room, sweetie. Is it okay? Aren't they cute? You know? And so, now you know. Releasing. Releasing is often easier to do than forget. And a lot of times easier than revising because people get caught up, well, what do I revise it to? You know, well, you just release it. Just let it go. And then it just fades away off into the sunset. So I hope this helps. It's really, I think it's a beautiful way of letting go of stuff because, you know, it gives you, there's so many different ways to pray and there are just as many different ways to release, to forgive, to let go. Okay? And when you do, it creates a vacuum because the divine substance is everywhere and everything. So when you release something, okay, it comes out and the divine substance goes in. So, and that's divine love. It can only be good. So you release it and some divine substance comes. You just keep it going until, like Jesus says, you don't see it anymore. Yeah, because you filled it all up with divine substance and you see things differently now. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, comments, opinions, I would love to hear them. Just put them down in the comments below. If you like this content, appreciate the thumbs up. If you really like it, appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And if you would like to help produce this, come on by Patreon, The Law and the Promise, and join us. You can give me your ideas on what videos to make, and I'll make them. So I hope this helps. Blessings to you, and thank you. Thank you for being you.
How is that? You are so strong. What are you? What will you be?